How's it going, everybody? Let me check on the sound. If can you guys hear me okay? How about the video? Is any kind of buffering or anything going on? Okay, good. No comments. Are you there? Tap tap. Hi, Henry. How you doing? Thank you. Hi, Donald. Clyde, did you get my WhatsApp? No, I didn't. Let me take a look. Actually, look on this one here. Tap. Oh, there it is. Huh. I'll be going over that, Clyde, with everyone. I gotta. Oh boy. Hi, Paul. How you doing? Okay. Let me get started, so that we can move right along. And any other kind of thing that you have, I can deal with. Uh, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the customs, the duties. After going through, after finally getting some really great help at FedEx, um, the watch was released. It was on time. I was able to show it at the watch time show, so everything really worked out well along those lines. Um, but the thing with FedEx, compared to like DHL and even UPS, is that they seem to take a lot of time in getting you all of the information you need. Hey, Rick, and so they finally got it to me. I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday. Anyway, I put it on that little note that I had for announcing our talk, but let me read it to you in case that I don't know how big it looks. The customs duty was $59.85. Now that's on a $7,000 watch. And then they had another category called other that was 29.66. I have no idea what the other was. They didn't say, but the total is $89.51, which is, I think it worked out to like 1.3%, which is great. Um, Mike Newsbomber, who's doing the shipping for us, I'll talk to him about that, and so we'll get that all coordinated, and also with Mike Margolis. So I think that's one thing we know. Of course, that was just one watch. So the ones that are shipped to the U.S. are going to be shipped all together, and they're going to be shipped to Mike Margolis's place, and then he's going to ship them from his place. That the first shipment will be whatever is charged by the courier that's taking them to Mike's, plus the customs and so forth. So we'll get some kind of idea, and then there's another charge that we have for Mike taking care of that. We'll go over that when we get to that point. Um, Okay, so that's where we are on that. Let's see what else is going on. My screen is frozen. Are you guys? Mine is okay. Okay. Morning, everyone. Hi, Robert. I I tried to do something that should be okay on the video. I don't know what would be going wrong right now. If you have any kind of freezing, let me know. What I found is that if I turn the computer off, and right before we have our presentation, I turn it on. It cleans everything up, so it ought to be okay. Same with the video; they sort of go together. All right, so that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing is update on Group One. Um, some of the numbers got left out, and if it hadn't have been for Charlie, who said, "Where's my number?" I wouldn't have found these other ones. What had happened was that I tried to accommodate a lot of people who said, "Well, I want this number for one reason or another," and I try to swap some around. Bad idea, because I got some things mixed up, and I had to get them all squared away. And so I did that. I updated it with uh, Wooten Lannon and Kalen. Said this is the first group. I had given them that in the first place about getting those numbers. A lot of people, not just Clyde, had a question about I I forgot my numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give everybody their numbers who asked for them. Okay, I say that because there's like a whole lot of people and a whole lot of numbers. Some people were able to keep track of their numbers, others weren't. So I mean, like some people just had one number. It's like, I got my number. So anyway, that you could look at the your WhatsApp because everybody was assigned numbers on that. But anyway, I will send you the current numbers I have and do check them. In fact, I'm going to put up every group and I'm going to put all the numbers in that group and be sure that your number is there so that I don't make a mistake. I had to make a couple. Victor is going to go up to Geneva, up to Agenor on November 10th when they have the Grand Prix award ceremony. I thought it'd be a good idea. In fact, we had talked about this earlier. It'd be a good idea for us to have somebody representing them. So I sent him a number of business cards that I had made. Here's our business card. May remember, and just says Lyrique on it. Has the front and back of our watch. And so, I told him to go out and make friends. You know, don't don't get in any trouble if you can help it. Um, and people are still saying, "Well, how what do you guys think you're doing? Putting out an expensive watch in the petite aiguille category." You can tell them we didn't know any better. We just thought, that was we had done it on a subscription basis, and that's that. And so, anyway, I think it's important for us to have good relationships with Grand Prix people, and so anyway, Victor will be there, and that'll be nice. And so he'll be getting his watch. He has ordered two watches, so I'll have to get that fixed up. Hi, Steve. How you doing? Um, by the way, too, this might be a good time to talk about the watch and the Grand Prix. I'm not the Grand Prix, but the Watch Time show. Both Rick and Steve were there. Charlie was there. I don't see Charlie here now. And just Steve and Rick, what did you guys think of it? I know Rick really liked the strap a lot, so he's he's going to keep it instead of getting another one. But what did you guys think of the watch overall? And anybody else who was there that who got a chance to play with it? Oh, great, Paul. Yeah, Rick, what did you? Yeah, I got to tell you, right now, for the next 15 days or so, it's going to be I hated to send it. Um, I found a lot of excuses not to give it to the guys at Horological Society of New York when we had the meeting there. And I just made up a bunch of excuses. If I'd really tried to, I probably could have done it. But man, I didn't want to part with that watch at all. I just love that watch. but then I sent it to them once I got back, uh, and they received it, and they said tomorrow is they're going to start working on it. I don't know anyone who has gone through the chronometer testing. Now, I talked to Nicholas about it. He said, guys, go ahead. It'd be interesting to see how it does. But he said it wasn't calibrated for chronometer, and that's okay. I know that. But then I put it on my my time grapher and was so impressed with the outcome of it. Man, I tell you, I really liked it. Steve, what did you think? Where's Steve? Steve, yeah, there you are. Steve, did you spent some time with the watch? In fact, well, I got you were one of the guys in the wrist. Was the dial as nice as we were hoping? You know, I took a close up of that thing, and it's better. I mean, I there was a very little part of an article where Philippe Dufour was interviewed about, first of all, Metal M being what was it, Simplicity 37, and he said, well, they did it and they did a good job, and he explained why I liked lacquer over enamel. He said, first of all, you don't have to go through 10 different dials because the other one didn't bake right, and he said lacquer's a lot thinner. And when I took the close up of it, you can see how it fits so well with the indentation of the small seconds. That this watch is just, I just really want it back really quickly. Also, too, I've got my new strap picked out for it. The nice thing, though, we can put if you do get a new strap, the dimensions are in terms of they're like 2018, which means the tip of the tapers to 18, and the lug fit is 20. I think you can probably have it to some other ones if you want. If you want more taper or less taper, the big thing is, um, well, I don't think no, I think you would want the same taper because the the buckle, this part right here, will it's looking for an 18 millimeter hole there for it. Yeah, the lugs. Yeah, I just, somebody said something about the size. They said it was a perfect size. Of course, I agreed with them, but they said, "Oh, that's exactly the right size," and I'm glad. Steve, other than enjoying meeting with Mike Margolis, what did you think of the watch? Yeah, Mike was so busy at the chop pack. I had the chance to say, "Look, it arrived. Okay, we'll talk later." We never got a chance later because Mike was so busy. But I can drive up the road and go see Mike anytime. Um, anyway, I tell you the more I looked at it, the more I played with it, the better I liked it. Um, it's one of those watches. I just you feel like, well, if you got a bunch of watches in your collection, you're obliged to, or at least I am. I say, well, I gotta wear this guy. He hasn't been worn in a while, and sort of rotate everything. This watch isn't like that. I want to wear it. Period. So, and I've also got a new strap picked out. That I might as well order now because time that uh, Jean Rousseau gets finished with it, it'll be ready, I hope, and it'll be back. So, Steve, anything you want to tell us? Meeting with Mike Margolis. Yeah, it was. That was Rick. Yeah, Rick's right. I I was right near the beginning. When I was in line, we had a heck of a time getting a cab. I didn't get there until about 6 o'clock, but ironically, Rick and his wife was right behind me and my wife in line as we were checking in, and I got to see Rick a couple other times, but for the most part, it was like people coming and going. By the way, too, I did have a very quick meeting with Kari Voutilanen, and I showed it to him, and he seemed to really like it. I pointed out very clearly that uh, they had done the case. It was Voutilanen and Caton. The people at Voutilanen and Caton, I also sent them a picture of it, like, you guys don't want to move along a little. They had told me that they should have them all done by the end of November, and they're going to sort of get one done for sure. And I hope they get more than one done, but they're going to sort of put Victor's at the head of the line so that he can have it for Grand Prix. Yeah, there are a lot of interesting. The Geneva wave stripes on some of the plates didn't line up. That's your comment? Okay. We'll get a wave straightener. No, I didn't. I didn't ask Kari Voot and Lana. Both Rancher and I are interested in what's going to happen with Urban Jurgensen. Um, the reason I didn't ask, there was so many people who wanted to talk to him. In fact, I think at some point Rick was talking to him about a watch, and so I had a chance to talk to him about our watch. He liked it. Uh, talk to oh, what was the other thing I did? Oh yeah, I asked him about. I said, "Have you thought about using silicone hairsprings on any of your watches?" And he looked at me like like I had said something unkind about this. Like what? Like who would do that? And it was felt much better about Carrie after that. Um, that's just my opinion. I know some people are okay with the silicone hairsprings. But I didn't get a chance to ask him about that. I had some people glaring at me like, you know, we want to talk to Kari also. So it didn't wasn't much. Okay, so everybody seemed to like it, except Steve was worried about the the Geneva waves lining up. Uh, okay. All right, let's see. The moving right along, Victor was representing Lyrique. Uh, that's all set up. Um, Victor got the ticket from GPHG, so he's all set with that. He got the business card, so he can pass some of those out. Um, so that'll be a presence. Somebody just said they talked to, who was it, Paul? That said that they talked to a member of the jury this week. And he told me he voted for us. Ha ha. Even though we didn't make the final cut. Great to hear. Um, okay. All right. Our watch begins the Horological Society of New York chronometer testing tomorrow. It's a 15-day test. Um, I'm going to sort of keep on them about that because uh, the guy who I talked to, who's the head of, forgot his first name and his last name, but he's a real cool guy. He's a great guy. He likes what we've done, and I'm going to talk to him about that. And also talk to him about a presentation about how we created our watch. Uh, all right. Okie doke. Let's talk about the last thing I want to talk about is meeting with incorporation group via Zoom. Paul and Donald and let me see who else is in there. There's a bunch of guys in the group, Hader is, so is oh, Foddy. I guess I don't know. There's probably somebody else, but those are the guys that are mainly working on that. We're going to have a Zoom meeting. I think the important thing about working out the right kind of incorporation before we get a lawyer, before we get anything, I tell you, if you don't do your own research ahead of time, you have no idea what the options are. Um, I've got due respect for attorneys and everything that they do, but on the other hand, it doesn't hurt to read the incorporation rules because I've read the ones that they have in Connecticut, and in fact, one of the things that would probably be a good idea for the couple guys who I think the group planned to incorporate in the U.S., and there's certain advantages to that that I think are mainly tax related. So if we do that, you got to do it, I think, in the state that you're in. I don't know if there's a national incorporation thing, which would be ideal, and then we could have an international co-op. That was something I couldn't find. I checked out the co-ops here in Connecticut, and in 2019, Connecticut updated their co-op rules to make them much more liberal. But then they said the people who are in it must be in Connecticut. Well, that's not going to work. They have to work on something like that. Fadi, Hader, Abdul, and me now. We could really do with some U.S. members getting involved. We are all overseas. Not everybody is overseas, are they, Paul? Unless you guys want to. I mean, it's fine with me. You can incorporate in any country you wanted to. Actually, I thought they had mentioned that they wanted to do it in the U.S. This is something I'm not going to do. I just want to. I'm not saying I won't be. I'll be glad to help in any way I can, but I think that the way you want to set up a corporation and so forth uh, is something that you guys need to do. Delaware, yeah. Rancher, I was thinking of Delaware too. Delaware is very easy to set it up, but with a cooperative, I don't know. I'm afraid that if your incorporation says Delaware, you put a red flag on it and you say Delaware. Um, I'm not sure where would be good, but maybe Delaware would be the best place. I don't know about Oklahoma. You're there, so you would know, and Rick would know in Illinois, I guess, what it is. So what I was going to do is go down to the Secretary of State's office, and I think they have all kinds of help. Connecticut is really big on incorporating. We've got all these hedge fund man guys in the state. We're sort of a hedge fund home for I don't know whom. The so I those guys have too many lawyers, so they probably don't do too much with them. Um, I don't know. Yeah, Delaware may be one, so to look into. I could look into that. Yeah, yeah. This is one of the things, Clyde, about the ones. Some of the earliest co-ops were farmers co-ops. The kind of co-ops that I found that are typical. They have at least here they have farm co-ops. Uh, Sometimes related to food co-ops. Food co-ops a little different. Let's see. Condominiums are co-ops, so that's really big, and they have all kinds of interesting things. But there is not a watch collectors co-op that I could find, and I'm not sure where would be the best place to look. See, one of the things in a farm co-op is that they'll buy a piece of farm equipment. Everybody uses it, like a thresher or a planter or one of those things. Whereas we don't share. we, we're sort of the kindergarten dropouts. We didn't learn how to share. Our watches are our own. Um, yeah, Paul, you're right. Yeah, I know. You're absolutely right about that. So anyone who wants to look into that, like I said, I'll see about connecting up with the Secretary of State's office, and they're out hustling different people. They have all kinds of things, and this is when I was in California and looking into a business thing. They had this small business help thing. The problem is that if you go to one of those things, people really don't know about our kind of co-op. The food co-op people, they're they might have something similar to it, but I couldn't find anything. And Paul's right. It's got to be done in the U.S. by a U.S. citizen, but uh, they seem to be state by state. I don't know, and like I said, I don't know if there's any kind of you can set up a federal corporation or not. So especially LLC. The trouble with LLCs, good and bad, uh, so many bad guys use them for the wrong thing. Now, my LLC, uh, I don't, my accountant, I sent him everything, and he just takes everything I send him, including the LLC, and does whatever he does, and so it's pay taxes on it and stuff. Usually, I don't have very many. In fact, I'd probably get money back because it could show that it hasn't been a profit and there has been a loss. So, but like I said, it's more of a liability shield than anything else. Yeah, it's state by state. Yeah, I know. That's so anyway, I think you got to live well, maybe not. Maybe Delaware would be an exception. Probably needs to be set up where we bank so it won't have to register as a foreign out of state corporate entity. hmm Yeah, we got to be careful about see the thing is that setting up a corporation isn't that it's not rocket science basically, but it does require really looking into it. Uh, I'm glad that I want to meet with you guys and let me know where you are on this, and so that you can set something up that we can really work with. He's setting up and closing them. um, yeah, I know, Rancher. That's a good point about a not-for-profit. Andrew the other day pointed out. He said if you set up as a not-for-profit, well, he said as a nonprofit, and there is a difference as not-for-profit and nonprofit. Uh, but there's all kinds of. Then you have an annual kind of basically auditing. Um, I don't mind an audit because we're not doing anything sneaky or anything, but it's an expense. I've got a very good accountant that's had the same guy for about the last 24 years, and he's been great. But I've in terms of most of the stuff I've done with him, it's been very simple. Yeah, not for profit. I don't know what the regulations are on that. Paul, have you guys looked into that, or Donald? You guys taking a look at a not for profit as opposed to nonprofit? And I think a lot of educational institutions are not for profit. Um, And like I said, I don't know the difference between that and a nonprofit. But anyway, it's something I think, and I think, getting the bank set up and everything else is good. I use Bank of America, and I know a lot of people don't like Bank of America. Um, it was the closest one to my house, basically. I don't know what the beef is with Bank of America. I've had really good luck with them. So that might be something, and it's really easy to transfer funds between Bank America accounts. But that, like I said, um, Wells Fargo, on the other hand, I don't want to have anything to do with them because of what they had done, and a lot of stuff they shouldn't have been doing. Um, if we keep going as subscription, that will fly in the face of people getting watches built for ourselves. Yeah, but we're subscribers. We're all subscribers. I don't see the contradiction there. Anyway, but, listen, anybody who's got any other wisdom on this, um, this would be, pass it on to, Fadi or Paul or one of the guys in the group. We had it was Fadi, Hader, Abdul, Paul, Donald, I think. Anybody else? Hmm. Clyde, that's something that, thank you for that because it's something we got to look into. Okay. Well, I, from what, um, Vuitton and Callan have told me, the case makers, they'll all have them done by the end of next month, which is a couple days from now. Um, so I'm hoping that that will be the case. And I'm going to be going over the groups again. And if you have a question about what your numbers are, I've got them all. I've got them. Those are all placed correctly. Just getting them out is something. It's not hard for individuals. So if you want to know what they are, just either on WhatsApp or on or DM on uh, face. What is it called? Facebook, yeah, our 6801 page. Okay, anything else? Yeah, right. I don't. Those are questions, Clyde. I don't know how to answer. Um, I have no idea. We're not making any money, so uh, something to figure out, I guess. Uh, Maybe Clyde, you might be a good guy to add to the group, because you do have all of the attorney things to ask, at least a question to ask. Paul, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah. Well, I'm still, Paul, you guys, I'm still waiting to hear say we were going to have that Zoom meeting you guys had promised me. Paul, Jesus. Okay. That's funny. All right, guys, anything else that you want to ask that I might be able to help with? Okay, anything else that you need to know? I've been trying to keep everybody up to date on where we are, and but it's hard to know. Okay, well, listen, if there's nothing else, um, like I said, if you forgot your numbers, let me know, and just, shoot me something on, WhatsApp, um, or, email or whatever you want, okay? Alright, take care, and, I will keep you up on any news during the week, and then we can meet again next Sunday, okay? Bye for now. Oh, yeah, that's right. Uh, the US and Europe have different time changes. Ours our time doesn't change to standard time for a while, so I'll have to, get that thing worked out too. Um, Graham, I'm sorry you missed it. You're right though. I'll try to get everything adjusted so that, until our time or just I tell you a thing to do, use the GMT time. I always post the GMT time because it's not affected by time changes, okay? Take care.